Hi, this is Norm, Watchman here. It's Thursday at 5 o'clock. I'm a little bit past time here. Sorry about that. How you doing today? We're going to talk about COVID-19 disease and about a little bit of what's going on. Lately, I've been hearing from different preachers that the Lord's probably going to be coming back within the next couple weeks. We can't ignore this COVID-19 disease or what's going on in the world, earthquakes and pestilence and different things. I hope you're ready when the Lord comes back. If you're saved, you're still supposed to be out there winning souls. We look at the things in the Bible and the great heroes of the Bible, and like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and we wonder about how they got to be great. We got to be great by listening to God. Today we're going to talk about the little person that got to be known by being just who they were. We're talking about the little maid that was mentioned in 2 Kings chapter 5. What are we supposed to be doing right now? We're supposed to be right with God, reading our Bibles every day, witnessing, still trying to win souls. I want to let you know that if you do have the COVID-19, we're supposed to still be reading our Bibles, trusting in God. I know a preacher, a friend of mine, had COVID-19, and he was really sick, and he's still sick from different reasons, but he still preaches the word, and he still reads his Bible, still prays. Last year, I got really sick, and I had to go in the hospital. I almost died several times, and God was with me. He was dealing with me. He wanted me to create this show that you're watching now, and here I am. But he was with me all that time. He created a different person in me, and here I am talking to you today. Last year, and within 2 weeks' time, I had pneumonia, I had a heart attack, and I almost died of food poisoning. This year, I took a little trip and wound me up in the hospital. My trip consisted of me walking from here to Monroe, Michigan, and I ended up in the hospital, and I met quite a few people on my way, and I probably end up writing a book about it, and make it, try to sell it on the market, but right now I'm busy just trying to take care of my life. I want you to know that God is still out there, He still cares. You know, we go to the doctors, and today, usually, when you have a doctor appointment, they want you in there by yourself. Well, you know, if you're born again Christian, you don't go in there by yourself, because God has promised us that will never leave us nor forsake us in Hebrews. So when you go in there for your appointment, you're always with somebody. And you're always, if you go in the hospital, you're always taking somebody with you too, because God is always with you. Let's talk about this little maid in chapter 5. Let me start reading something to you. 2 Kings 5:1 says, Now Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master, and honorable, because by him the Lord had given deliverance unto Syria. He was also a mighty man in valor, because he was a leopard. And the Syrians had gone out by companies, and they brought away captive out of the land of Syria a little maid. Can you imagine that? Just a little maid that was brought out. He was also a mighty man in value, this Naaman. And the Syrians had gone out by companies that brought away captive out of the land of Israel, and she waited on Naaman's wife, this little maid. And she said unto her mistress, Would God my Lord were with the prophet that is in Samaria, for he would recover him of his leprosy. And one went and told his Lord, saying, Thus and thus said the little maid that is in the land of Israel. And the king of Syria said, Go, and I will send a letter unto the king of Israel. And he departed and took with him 10 talents of silver and 6,000 pieces of gold and 10 changes of raiment. And he brought the letter to the king of Israel, saying, Now, when this letter is come unto thee, behold, I have therewith sent Naaman my servant to thee, that thou mayest recover him of his leprosy. And it came to pass, when the king of Israel had read the letter, that he rent his clothes, and said, Am I God to kill and to make alive, that this man doth send unto me to recover a man of his leprosy? Wherefore consider, I pray you, and see how he seeketh a quarrel against me. And it was so, when Elisha, the man of God, had heard that the king of Israel had rent his clothes, that he sent to the king, saying, Wherefore hast thou rent thy clothes? Let him come now to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. So Naaman came with his horses and with his chariot, and stood at the door of the house of Elijah. And Elijah sent a messenger unto him, saying, Go and wash in Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again to thee, and thou shalt be clean. But Naaman was wroth, and went away, and said, Behold, I thought he would surely come out to me, and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God, and strike his hand over the place, and recover the leopard. Are not Abana and Pharpar, rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? May I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage. And the servants came near and spake unto him, and said, My father, if the prophet had bid thee do some great thing, wouldst thou not have done it? How much rather then when he has said to thee, Wash and be clean? When God tells us to do things and we don't think that's the right thing to do, we should still do what God asks us to do. God knows the right way to do things. His word is always right. Don't think that you know more than God does. Always do what God asks you to do. Then went he down and dipped himself 7 times in Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God. And his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. See that? God cleaned him. You know, God, throughout the Bible, has done marvelous works to mankind. Just God tells you to do something, you better do it. And this is the little maid. He saved Naaman from his sins, and he was washed and made him right, cleansed his body from the leprosy. And I wondered today, if God was speaking to you, are you listening? The verse goes that, Be still and know that I am God. Please listen. We ought to be listening to these COVID-19 people that have the COVID-19. We ought to be dealing with them, telling them about God, telling them that they don't have to go to hell with this disease, that they can still be saved. Please go out there, Christian. Let them know. Let them know that there is a God, and He's still interested in them. Please don't let them go bad. Please don't let them die and go to hell. This is Norm Frazier, the Watchman, and I am dealing with certain things right now. And I hope to see you next Tuesday and next Thursday. Oh, next Thursday. I won't be on next Tuesday. I will be there next Thursday at 5 o'clock. And I've got an eye appointment next Friday scheduled. And I'll be in church, and you'll be watching for me. And this is Norm Frazier signing off. God bless.
Okay. If you end this live video now.